In today's story, we will explain the 2021 American monster movie Godzilla vs. Kong. The main character of this movie is played by Alexander. So let's not delay and delve into the main story. Right from the beginning of the movie, we see Kong. The people of the world first saw Kong in 1973 when Monarch sent some peoples to Skull Island. Then you all know what happened to them. But currently, a containment zone has been created on Skull Island where Kong is detained. It's a large dome, and Monarch has set up an outpost there. Then the movie shifts to the present time. We see Kong residing on a large green island. And Kong has grown quite a bit compared to before. Then we see a little girl there. Kong liked the girl very much and loved her a lot. They were very good friends. Kong never behaved badly with his friend. Rather, he accepted everything the girl said. But this girl could neither speak nor hear anything. Anyway, then we see Kong getting really angry for some reason. Due to this rage, Kong grabs a tree and throws it towards the sky. And it seems like the impact of the tree on the sky created a hole. Since these titans like to defeat each other, all the scientists put Kong in this energy world thinking about this. We also know that the level of this energy world is constructed in such a way that Godzilla cannot enter it. This energy world was built on an island. Then we see Kong gradually getting bigger to an extent where he couldn't be kept on this island anymore. Then the scene shifts to show a boy named Barney. Bernie was a hacker. He used to work for a company where modern machines, robots, etc. were made. Bernie, targeting some changes in his company, suspects his own company. He thinks his company is making something that shouldn't be made. With this thought, Bernie hacks all the data of his company. He finds out that his company is preparing to hand over a huge project to Hong Kong. Then suddenly the alarm starts ringing there. Through this alarm, everyone is made aware that Godzilla is coming. Then within a short time, Godzilla emerges from the sea. As soon as Godzilla emerges, everything starts to be destroyed. But why Godzilla is trying to kill everyone, nobody understands, because Godzilla was a titan who led a normal life. At that moment, we can know about Godzilla's nuclear power. Godzilla destroys the entire company with his nuclear power. Within moments, the news of Godzilla's arrival spreads worldwide. But this time, some changes have occurred in him. He's not the same as before. In the past, he saved people. But now he's killing everyone. Then the owner of that company says through the media, "We are working on a secret project. And if we can finish this project, then we will be able to confront Godzilla directly." On the other hand, a young scientist named Madison sees this news. Madison doesn't believe in Godzilla's attack because she knows very well about Godzilla. Madison says, Godzilla cannot harm anyone, rather, it helps people. Madison goes to her father and explains to him that Godzilla cannot do such things. Someone has done something wrong with Godzilla. Madison's father explains to her, all creatures undergo changes over time. So perhaps Godzilla has also changed and is now harming humans. Hearing these words from her father, Madison leaves from there. Afterwards, the scene in the movie changes, where we see that a hacker named Barney uploads an audio file online about Godzilla. And Madison listens to that audio. Madison thinks to herself that if she meets Barney, she will discuss the matter of Godzilla, and ask Barney why Godzilla has become so aggressive. Then we see that the owner of the company has gone to meet a senior scientist, Dr. Nithin. He asks Dr. Nithin how we can create something powerful from this Godzilla. Then Dr. Nithin says, I have written a book through which you can know what to prepare to fight against this Godzilla. In this book, we introduce a completely new term called Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth refers to the concept that just as we receive energy from the sun on Earth's surface, titans derive power through the hollow earth below the surface. The company owner discusses many such things with Dr. Nithin. After hearing everything, the company owner tells Dr. Nithin that he wants to obtain this hollow earth power. He wants to use this power for his secret project. However, Dr. Nithin explains that obtaining this hollow earth power is not possible. Even reaching there is not feasible because the main reason is that there is no gravitational force in the hollow earth, causing everything there to float. After hearing this from Nithin, the man said, my company has developed a car that is anti-gravity with a sophisticated component. He also said that each titan has the ability to find its own habitat. Moreover, a special vehicle is required to reach this hollow earth. So now we should get Kong's help, because Kong was also born in hollow earth. Afterwards, we see that the company owner and Dr. Nithin meets with Dana, a girl by the name of Dana who is a doctor by profession. She is tasked with overseeing Kong's appearance in the movie. Dr. Nithin tries to convince them that it's appropriate to send Kong back to his birthplace, Hollow Earth. They cannot keep Kong here for much longer because if Kong leaves, Godzilla will attack him. Kong is safe only in his birthplace. After some persuasion, Dr. Dana agrees, as she also believes it's the right decision. There was no other way because Kong was growing bigger day by day. Then we see that with the help of the military, Dr. Dana prepares everything and sets sail for Hollow Earth with some ships and Kong. Kong was restrained on the ship with chains. Later we see Kong's friend, a little girl, whom Dana asks to understand Kong's mental state. The little girl communicates with Kong through gestures and reveals that Kong is angry because he's been restrained with chains. The head of the military told Dr. Dana, "We won't take Kong through Godzilla's path. We'll take a different route so that Godzilla can't sense anything." Then Dr. Dana agrees with that decision. Godzilla and Kong are old adversaries. They both consider themselves kings of the monsters. If somehow they face each other, we might witness a catastrophic event. Such cautious discussion can be seen between the two. Then we see that suddenly an alarm starts ringing inside the ship where Kong was. The alarm was installed using advanced technology on the ship. If Godzilla's presence is detected, it will automatically sound. On the other hand, Kong's friend, the little girl, communicates through gestures that Godzilla is on their path. Then the little girl informs Dr. Dana about this. Then Dr. Nathan tells everyone purposefully that Godzilla is coming, so it's necessary to release Kong to fight Godzilla and protect them. When Kong realizes that Godzilla is approaching their ship, he yells loudly that his hands are restrained by chains. Then we see the head of the military instructing to launch rockets and various weapons to attack Godzilla, but none of them cause any harm to Godzilla. Instead, Godzilla destroys their aircraft. As Godzilla approaches Kong's ship to destroy everything, Kong flips the ship he was on. In a moment, the ship starts sinking. Then many people start drowning in the sea. Seeing the situation, a few people together open Kong's chains so that Kong can fight Godzilla and save many. Kong and Godzilla engage in a massive battle. Kong throws Godzilla into the deep sea. Then Kong straightens the overturned ship so that people can be saved. After that, they see Godzilla rise again. After rise, Godzilla heading towards the ship where Kong's friend, the little girl, was. Then Kong jumps from one ship to another, landing on the one where the girl was. As soon as he arrives, we see Kong forcefully striking Godzilla with a punch. Then, Godzilla retaliates by hitting Kong back. Kong falls, but quickly gets back up and attacks Godzilla, throwing him into the sea. In response to this, Godzilla uses his atomic breath, causing fear among the people witnessing the spectacle. Seeing this, Kong decides to save his life by jumping into the water. They start a battle in the water. While Godzilla can breathe even underwater, Kong can't. It seemed like Kong was about to lose. Godzilla was about to kill Kong by dragging him deep into the sea. Then, Dr. Dana says, "We should help Kong, otherwise, Godzilla will kill him." The military deploys many weapons into the sea. Kong manages to survive and resurfaces. Then Dr. Nathan tells everyone to stop everything because if they stop deploying engines or weapons on all ships, Godzilla will think we've all given up. Hearing this, everything is stopped. Godzilla enraged looks at Kong, and then leaves. Later Dr. Nathan says, "If we move forward, Godzilla will think we are alive, and then he will attack us again." Then Dr. Nathan says, "Then we'll take Kong away in a helicopter." On the other side, Madison meets with the hacker Bernie. Bernie tells Madison that something illegal is being made secretly in our company. Since Barney works in this company, he knows everything. After a short period of research, the two discover that their company is building a nuclear-powered Godzilla to kill Godzilla, which is much stronger than this Godzilla. After knowing all this, both of them want to see the Godzilla made by the company. They start searching for it and reach a secret location of the company. They see a huge egg there. As they approach the eggs, suddenly their door is closed. After a while, it turns out that the place where they are stuck is actually a robotic machine, which at tremendous speed, was also taking them to Hong Kong along with the eggs. On the other hand, the military team arrives in helicopters and successfully enters the Hollow Earth. They show Kong a path like a cave, and ask him to go through it to Hollow Earth. But Kong refuses to go inside. Everyone knows that even if Kong doesn't listen to anyone, he will listen to that girl's child. So they use that child to make Kong understand. They tell Kong through that child that if you go on this path, you will find your birthplace, and also say you will find many like you here. Hearing such words from the girls, Kong agrees to go through that cave. And Dr. Nathan, Danny, that girl, the head of the military and the owner of the company follow Kong in a gravity-defying vehicle. Then they all find themselves in a completely different world. Due to the presence of the anti-gravity car, they can easily float behind Kong. In this way, as they go a little further, they see various kinds of monstrous creatures. Among them, suddenly a flying monster attacks the anti-gravity car. And right at that moment, Kong punches it, smashing its head. The reason for such anger is that the little girl most dear to Kong was also in that car. Kong then continues to move forward and everyone follows him. Here, due to the absence of gravitational force, everything seems to float in the air. Then the movie scene shifts and shows Madison and Barney arriving in Hong Kong. There they try to find the artificial Godzilla, and they find it too. They see that the artificial Godzilla is named Mega Godzilla by Barney's company. To control it, an expert was hired. To test Mega Godzilla's power, the crown of the head is put in front of it. Using its power, Mega Godzilla instantly breaks the crown into pieces. Later more power was needed to operate Mega Godzilla, which Madison and Barney did not have. That power could only be found in Hollow Earth, which they didn't possess. When trying to activate Mega Godzilla, they make a big mistake. As a result, some sounds of the real Godzilla emerge from Mega Godzilla, which the real Godzilla senses. So it starts moving towards Hong Kong, where Mega Godzilla is. On the other side, the company's owner and scientists observe and discover that the main power source of Hollow Earth is located at the peak of a mountain. Then Kong is signaled to go to that mountain, and Kong goes in that direction. After going a distance, Kong sees a door which upon opening, reveals an axe. Kong takes it in hand and sees that it is not an ordinary weapon, it is a weapon made from Godzilla's body. Kong then sits on a high place with the weapon, feeling like the king of this place. Meanwhile, Godzilla reaches Hong Kong and goes inside the company to kill Mega Godzilla. Everyone sees Godzilla and starts running to save their lives. On the other hand, Kong finds the power source and makes the weapon in his hand even more powerful. Godzilla can sense someone is trying to take its nuclear power. Actually, no one else is trying to take it but Kong. He also injects nuclear energy into his own body. So just by being inside the company, Godzilla creates a tunnel of fire with its power and wants to come to Hollow Earth where its weapon was kept. Then the company's owner, Hollow Earth, tries to send this power sample to the company, but Dr. Dana prohibits it. The guy doesn't listen to Dr. Dana at all. And just at that moment, Kong destroys their vehicle. Kong holds the axe and gets ready to fight with Godzilla, as he can understand that Godzilla is coming. Godzilla arrives and calls Kong for battle using its nuclear power. Then we see Godzilla enter Hong Kong through the tunnel through which Kong is tunneling with his nuclear power. Kong arrives and attacks Godzilla with his weapon but accidentally gets the weapon stuck in a building. At this point, Godzilla throws Kong down from the roof and the two fight for a long time. Then Kong takes the weapon stuck in the building and attacks Godzilla with it, injuring Godzilla. However, Kong disables all of Godzilla's power using his axe and they engage in a prolonged battle. Meanwhile, the company owner activates Mega Godzilla and starts controlling it with an expert's help. We knew right from the beginning of the movie that the power of Mega Godzilla will be much greater than the real Godzilla. When the power from Hollow Earth enters Mega Godzilla's body, it kills everyone in its company. It even kills the one who was controlling it. Then Mega Godzilla breaks through the walls and comes outside. At that moment, the real Godzilla sees Mega Godzilla and immediately advances to attack. They engage in a fierce battle. Mega Godzilla was so powerful that it seemed to overpower the real Godzilla. Mega Godzilla repeatedly strikes Godzilla and knocks him down several times. On the other hand, we see Madison and Bernie trying to deactivate Mega Godzilla, but all the machines there are locked. Then the scene of the movie changes, and we see injured Kong whose condition is now very bad. The little girl signals to Kong that the fight is almost over. Dr. Nathan checks Kong's heart rate and says that to save Kong, electrical shock needs to be given. Dr. Nathan uses the anti-gravity vehicle to shock Kong. Gradually Kong becomes somewhat healthier. Then the little girl tells Kong that Godzilla is not our enemy, he is our friend. So we need to help him, and Kong goes there to save Godzilla. Godzilla realizes that it's not right to fight Kong. Kong finds the special weapon near his hand, but unfortunately it was not charged. Nonetheless, Kong uses the weapon without charge and attacks Mega Godzilla. Mega Godzilla was about to kill Kong, then Godzilla stops him. Madison and Bernie couldn't deactivate the machine, so they pour water into it. Now Mega Godzilla is temporarily disabled, and that's when Godzilla charges Kong's weapon using his nuclear power. So Kong becomes fully powerful. Therefore, when Mega Godzilla starts attacking again, Kong kills him. Even Kong breaks Mega Godzilla's hands, feet and every part of its body. Since Mega Godzilla was killed, everything returns to normal. After that, we see the real Godzilla rise again. This time, instead of fighting, they help each other. In the final scene of the movie, we witness Godzilla returning to the sea. And Kong takes the little girl and heads back to Hollow Earth. And this is where the movie concludes. And yes, if you want to see the explanation of the just released Godzilla vs. Kong, the new Empire movie, subscribe to the channel now because the next part will be explained there.